Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Navi back with again with news and views, my views on some of the news. Okay, so Jumbo Habarigani, Sani Bonani, Kedu Bawani, Oi to the Bang, Vasas Los, Bonjour mes amis, Ni hao, ni hao ma, and Konnichiwa. And hey to the rest of y'all out there in YouTube land. This one, all right, I'm not surprised, and I'm saying expect an uptick in this kind of event. All right. Judgment by Yahweh Elohim has come, and I've been noticing an increase in this, right? We are at the point where black women don't think that there should be any kind of repercussion for their actions, that they should get a pass at anything they do to men or with men or with whom they do it with. They only see reward from anything that they do with men. They don't ever see the consequences. So short-sighted that they don't see consequences of their actions. Not only that, what are the parents teaching and other the females in society? Why is it that black women will listen to a thug or a white man, but when a man that's telling the truth about our history, a man that's telling the truth about our mighty one and how we should serve him, and we serve the mighty one by serving each other. See, this is how I know that somebody's in the truth or not. I know it by the respect that they treat me. I know that not, I know it by how if I do speak commandments that they're in line with the commandments, that we can talk at least on that level. We might not agree on what happened really happened in Genesis, one because neither one of us was there, but we understand the commandments. We understand that that was the Almighty's law for us. That was what the Most High wanted us to obey. And if you look at the commandments, I keep telling you, they are easier to keep than they are to break. Only Christianity will tell you that something that easy is hard to break and it is so easy to sin. Remember, even in their own New Testament in First John, the third chapter, it says sin is breaking. If you break a commandment, this is what it says. If you break a commandment, you have sin, for sin is breaking a commandment or the commandment. That's what a sin is, breaking a commandment. So drinking is not a sin. You're not breaking a commandment. Drinking, then getting so drunk that you don't realize that you're sleeping with somebody else's wife, that's when you break the commandment. Drinking, then you get behind the wheel when you know you shouldn't be and you drive and hit somebody. Yes, now you've broken the commandment. Drinking and getting drunk does not break the commandment. It's what you do as a result of the wine and liquor that weakens you mentally and causes you to not causes your wisdom to be inhibited by the feel of the alcohol. See, there it is. Like I said, in order to break a commandment, you have to work at it, you have to plan it, you have to have evil in your heart. Most people naturally don't have evil in their heart until they're trying to break the commandment, meaning get something from somebody that they want that they shouldn't. All right. The heart of the black woman is evil. I'm going to say this again. The heart of the black woman is evil. So this is why it's easy for her to break a bunch of commandments or not put up with them. And part of that problem is she's been taught by her mother and mothers before that, the white clergy, that Jesus, a false god, an idol, according to the scriptures, will forgive them for anything that they do. Right? Only everybody around them is paying for their sinful nature and for their evil nature and for their stupidity, like this child. So let me break it down. Candace Pickens had fallen in love with being a mother to her little boy Zacchaeus, right? I disagree with that. If she actually had love, then she would have chosen a man that she could be the wife to, and they would have had a child where her and a man could raise that child to be a productive citizen. All right. It's not love, it's infatuation and lust. Fell in lust with the man who seed that is, and she was infatuated with that boy because she knew she could use that boy against that man. And her decisions for having that boy and having that infatuation led to her death. I'll explain that in a minute. Her Facebook page is full of photos. Just because your Facebook page is full of photos don't mean you love something. It does indicate infatuation though. Documenting the bond between mother and child as it strengthened over birthdays. All right, this child is three birthdays, right? Now, if there was such a bond, then again, everybody should know right now you need both parents, not just the man. Because I have issues with the girls that I'm raising because there's not a woman in the house. When I get a woman, all right, it's 3-on-1. And the older woman should know better than to challenge the authority of a man in his own house. But these black women don't understand that. And I don't play that. If I tell them they're not walking outside dressed a certain way, they're not walking outside. And you, as a black woman, should know better and should not be telling a brother that a woman, a little 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old girl could walk out in the same attire that you see hoes with on the street. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I don't take kindly to those kind of challenges. You don't challenge my authority like that. But these women will bend over and do everything for a thug. You see what I'm saying? But see, that's what love is, that I would discipline them girls so that they could grow up to have a better life. The girls don't appreciate it. Black women don't appreciate it. Nobody appreciates a good man. This is why they choose a lot of these bad men. Okay, now let me finish it up. When she found out she was pregnant, she was scared. At first, the 23-year-old aunt, Irene Jenny Pickens, uh, Irene, okay, her aunt Irene Jenny Pickens told the Washington Post, um, but once she had that baby, it was so natural for her. No, it wasn't. Y'all think because somebody picks a baby up and smile before a camera that that's natural motherhood? No, that is not. Natural motherhood is choosing a good man and being having a mother and father in the house. See how uh, this is ridiculous how these women think. This is stupid. Well, this stupidity led to her life being taken and possibly this child. She loved being a mother, and no matter what she was going through, I think it was one of the things that kept her going. Now, I want y'all to understand the picture they are painting of this innocent girl here. We didn't. Why didn't she have? Oh, this is a question that I wrote. Why didn't she have a relationship with a good man that wanted to have a wife and be a father? Here's the question I want everyone to think about it. Why didn't she have a relationship with a good man that wanted to have a wife and be a father? All right. All right. One of the things Candace Pickens was going through in recent months, the relatives said, is a volatile, abusive relationship. So at first it was all good. Then she started going through the volatile, abusive relationship. Um, One, she managed to keep hidden from some of the people who knew her best, and around Asheville, North Carolina, where she lived. Her boyfriend, Nathaniel Elijah Dixon, had a violent history that included attempted robbery. This is the dude she picked to be the father of her child. Attempted robbery, allegations of domestic violence against another woman with whom he had a child, according to Citizen Time. In addition to Dixon extensive criminal history, Police think he has possible ties with the Los Angeles street gang. All right. Well, let's take a look at it. What y'all think? All right. When Pickens recently discovered that she was pregnant with Dixon child, abortion was not an option. So this dude took matters into his own hands, right? She told her friends and family members she would have a second child. She insisted. Now relatives think it was the insistence that may have led to her death. Now, if you read that, that means she has a child already from another dude. All right. Remember the picture that I told you they're trying to paint of her? All right. Y'all better understand these thugs ain't playing anymore. Everybody is tired of the child support system. Only they'll kill you. Everybody's tired of being set up by the black women, but they'll kill you. The reason why good men ain't killing the black women, because the good men ain't picking the good black women aren't picking good men that want to be fathers that wants wives. Remember, 70% are single. That's not by accident. All they want is the money from the man, and then they're going to ruin and destroy his seed. Remember the story I just did about the prison in Mississippi? Oh yeah, the primary factory for those prisons, the black women. The black women is in the back pocket of the white man to produce as many workers so that they could keep making money off of black men as if we were still in slavery times. You see what I mean? Now, this guy put up some Facebook things of him and her. Let's take a look and gander.
Just give me all of you in exchange for me. Just give me all of you.
And there you have it. This is what's on Facebook's hours before his capture. He shared 3 posts, including 2 private videos about Pickens. All right. Now, let's get to Ezekiel 23 and 28. For thus saith Master Yahweh, see, I am giving you into the hands of those whom you hate. Black women hate good black men. They hate black men, period. But they'll lay up with a thug and stuff because they think they have a level of control and that they could do anything they want to him. All right. 2, he's not going to challenge her for custody of the child or joint custody. Why? He's smoking weed, but she's smoking weed. But the only person in this story that's going to look bad, well, outside of the murder, would be the man. Say they're smoking weed, the woman's automatically going to get custody, even though she's smoking weed. Right? All right. So into the hands of those from whom you been turned in disgust. All right. This means this dude didn't love her. All he wanted to do was bone her, and that boning produced a child. And he told her he didn't want this child. He wanted her to have an abortion. And for her, it was out of the question because, black women can make money. And then when the child turns 17, 18, 19, 20, given her lifestyle with him, then that child could make money for the white man by doing it through the prison system. All right. Ezekiel 23 and 30. I do this because of your whoring after the Gentiles, because you've been defiled by their idols. That's the black woman. Look at that. Weed, bad boy, Beyonce worship, white Jesus, the Christian church. Need I say any more? All right, so her body was found May 12th by a jogger in a park in Asheville. All right. She had been shot in the head at point blank range. Executed. And beside her was the little boy, badly injured but clinging to life. one day after his third birthday. This man told her he didn't want a child. Black women have 32 forms of birth control. That's outside of abortion. But they want to have these children so that they could give the child to the state, but make money all the way off of them until they're 18 from these men that don't want to be fathers. I think this is the third time that some these guys, that third story that I know of, that these guys have shot the mother and tried to kill the child too. Here's the thing. I fault all the black mothers for this that raise daughters like this. Not all women raise daughters like this, but all the mothers that raise daughters like this, even though your daughter don't get into this kind of trouble, the ones that raise their daughters to go after thugs and stuff like that, promote this as an okay thing. Nobody shames it. Nobody shuns it. As a matter of fact, they take more, black women that do this take more pride in being with a thug than they do actually being a wife. They'll be a whore for a white man too. All right. So the baby was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Now I want you to pay attention to this, and we'll get back to this in a minute. Mikia Waters, the child's grandmother, which means um, the girl's mother, told the Post Zacchaeus was shot in the head and lost his left eye, but she forcefully denied local reports that his chances of survival are just 50%. It's just 50%. All right. My grandson is in stable condition, is doing great, and he has the doctor. He has the doctor's surprise on Water said Wednesday. He's moving his arms and legs. He's doing more than what people expected. All right. So she's holding out for beyond all hope, right? Again, this is the mentality of the daughter that led to this behavior. The question is, why are men like this preferred by black women in their better years? See what I'm saying?
What are you doing?
See what I'm saying?
What? Stop.
Go ahead, hit the blunt.
No. What's wrong with it?
Ain't nothing wrong
Yes,
with
there is. It's
it.
nothing.
You smoking paper. She smoking paper.
You see that? You see that? An example of black women have the joy in being bad. But before this, when you read the first part of the story, this was an angel. They always built these women up like this, or their little thug gangster sons. Before you find out that their little 12-year-old boy is in the crypts, like the other story I did. All right, with the woman fake crying on the couch. All right. Now remember, the mom said she ain't doing that GoFundMe, right? We're going to get to that in a minute. But like I said, the mentality of black women, they give the best of their bodies and minds to the thugs. And then after they have a bunch of children, then they want a good man. And then they go on shows and all pissed off as to why we don't want them when they're 50 with 15 children and out of shape. And then they wonder why older men go after younger women, whether they are black women or women of other races. Because by the time you do all your college thing and stuff and have all these children, you're not worth anything. Oh, then they tell you if you become celibate, that makes you worth something. Because yes, you was a hoe for a while, you have all these children, but now you're celibate. That makes everything all right. No, it don't. You're still giving a man leftovers and you're worse. All right. Ezekiel 23:35. Therefore, thus saith Master Yahweh, because you have forgotten me and cast me behind your back. That's what she's doing now. Therefore, you shall bear your wickedness and your whoring. And that's what happened to her. Ezekiel 23:45. Let the righteous men judge them with judgment of an adulteress and the judgment of women who shed blood, for they are adulterous, and blood is on their hands. The blood of that child is on that girl's hand. She was messing with a known thug, a possible gangster, and getting high with him almost on a daily basis and produced a child. And then tried to force the dude that didn't want to be a father to be a father, and he took matters in his own hand. Ezekiel 23:46. For thus said Master Yahweh, bring up an assembly against them. That's all of us righteous brothers. Righteous don't mean we're perfect. It means that we believe in judging according to the commandments. Meaning that if the commandment call you a hoe, then you're a hoe. All right. Righteous brothers are ones that's trying to live according to the commandments, that are trying to tell people to get back to the commandments. That's a righteous brother. It says, Yahweh says, bring up an assembly against them and give them up to maltreatment and plunder. All these dudes going MGTOW, and all the dudes said we need to leave black women alone. And me, this is where we get it from. It's what the scripture says to do. And the Most High is telling us to do it. Bring up an assembly against them. That's all of us brothers that's trying to get back to the commandments, that's trying to get back to the truth. We're the assembly, and we're to give up the black women to maltreatment and plunder. Let the white man and the thugs plunder the black woman. For she have left the commandments of Yahweh, and she have left the side of the good men. As a matter of fact, she has turned herself into our enemy. Now, understand this. The guy was arrested, WLOS reports, in Columbus. He had a 21-year-old female hostage. So that means another black girl decided to get with him. All right. Now, to Pickens' friends and relatives, the motive is clear. He found out she was pregnant, and he wanted her to abort the baby. That's basically the motive. She would never do that. It wasn't an option for her. And that's what sparked the violence. No, that is not what sparked the violence. What sparked the violence was that you black single mothers raising your daughters without a good man in the house, refusing to be the wife of a black man, taught your daughter the same thing, that she could screw anybody, and all she gets is rewards: child support, government assistance, free college and stuff. She didn't see any downside to setting this dude up. Only she picked a thug, which most do, and thugs are starting to kill these women because they're counting the costs, and they're saying, well, I'm going to jail anyway. You understand? That's what sparked this. What sparked this is the black women have left good black men, so there is nobody to lead and guide the black girls when she's making this decision in these thug Negroes. All right. And you're trying to say she would never do that because she has some kind of standards. No, she had none. Because if she had standards, she would not have brought that seed into this world from that man. She would have brought a seed from a good man. She would have brought into this world a seed from a good man in a relationship that was husband wife. I want to put this back up again. When you get down here, Waters also said her family members have not set up a GoFundMe page and have not been contacted by the creators of several existed pages that claim to be raising money for her grandson. My grandson is not a charity fund, she said. We're not asking for a dime. I can respect her for that. Only prayer. I can respect this woman at least for this decision. But here is the snafu. Let's read right under this. I underlined that so that you can read right under this. But the theory that Dixon decided to kill the girl, kill his girlfriend because she wouldn't have an abortion was echoed on a GoFundMe page not set up by the family, but set up by one of her close friends. So another black woman is decided, one of her little friends set up a GoFundMe page in order to exploit the condition of this child, even when the family said that they don't want a dime. Candace was an amazing mother and friend and person. Vanessa Peterson wrote, she was always smiling and made the best out of life. Remember, I showed you she was smoking weed with her boyfriend almost on a daily basis. You see what I'm saying? So the best out of life was to get with a murderous thug who, now that we got to know him and her lifestyle, no one should be surprised if this happened to that little boy. She had recently found she was pregnant and was murdered because she refused to have an abortion. Here's my final thoughts. One, notice that the only black man in this story is the killer. Two, black women don't want to bear no consequences for their sorry choices. Oh, but it's happening. Like the scripture says, we are not to have their back at all. We are not to pity them. We're not to feel sorry for them. The child, feel sorry for the child, but look at the family he's being raised into. Black women that do not care about having a good black man around, never cared about it for a generation or two. All right. And this caused this girl to be around friends doing the same things where the friends are now exploiting another little black male for money. Now, I knew somebody was going to exploit what happened to that little child for money. At least it wasn't the grandmother. All right. Black women are starting to bear the repercussions of poor choices. And we need to leave them alone while they do it and let them. Even if the Almighty, the Most High, decides to kill them all off. All we need to do is sit back and watch the judgment of the Most High. With that said, I'm out.